So I don't want to do an intro, but I want to speak my feelings out loud. I don't know if this is going to help anybody. I don't know if this is even going to relate to anybody. I don't know. I wanted to. I want to. It's important, and maybe it'll help somebody not do what I'm currently doing in my 20s or in general, which is my whole life. I want to say 13 up till for a little bit it was 13 to up to 13. I want validation, and I would get any way to get kind of any validation, and that is overly being nice, only seeing the good of people, which is not bad traits at all, but I wouldn't see qualities in the actual people in my life. And anytime I would get criticized or people, especially when people would leave, I would take it as a personal reflection on my worth and how it made me feel. But I also, then as I got hit middle school, I started even getting more insecure because I wanted attachment. I wanted to be needed. I wanted somebody to validate because of I had an abusive father, and none of the courts would do anything. And I just needed comfort. I needed to feel like I mattered to somebody. I have siblings. My mom needed me. It was rough for a little bit. So early on, I would escape into people. See, okay, I can't promise I'm not going to cry because this is a diary little video entry. So I'm going to cry. It's okay to cry. But and then you hit like 16, like for a little bit when I was in middle school towards the end, which I'm trying to get back to this, but I stopped needing validation, or at least I stopped trying to present the traits. Most importantly, I stopped trying to present the traits that I thought would keep people in my life to keep them in my life. I started to, at the time, I had a pixie cut. I started wearing the clothes I wanted to wear. But not just that. I changed my friend group around the time frame, and I went from my very first best friendship that was one-sided. This person was great. It was wonderful. We were kids. We were kids when all this happened. So we had no maturity, no patience with each other. If we had we had tons of miscommunication. We were kids. But I met these 10 people, and we were all, to this day, they can't be replaced, but they were family. We became one big family, and we were all different. We were all, even though we had all 10 of us, we also had our own different groups. We had different people we would talk to. And for the first part of my childhood, I didn't let what my father would try to do. I didn't let, when he would belittle, call me degrading names, get angry, have a temper. Hi, Sasser. I still kept what mattered the most to me at the time, which was my clothes. My clothes were my armor. It was a way for me to just protect myself, but still have a little bit of control. You want to get in the video? Come here. I'm okay. Did you know I was crying? Is that why you came up here? Okay. You can be on the table, but you gotta put your booty down. Put the booty down. Put the juicy booty down. I know it's hard. Put the juicy booty down. Yeah. Okay. So I went through that, and then I moved. I moved sadly from Muskegon, and high school was rough because I still really didn't, at least, I love you too. I love you too. I'm okay. Hey, I'm okay. I'm okay. I promise. I think she just knows that mommy is going to talk about personal stuff. Is that you? What? That's her? That's you. That's you. That's you. Well, you want to sit on the table, but you won't let me hold you? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Mine. You are mine. Forever. No. Crazy. Oh, watch the cord. So, and then I never really had... I was told that if I got a boyfriend and a healthy boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever partner you want, whatever you're attracted to, whatever you want to date, it would make me complete. And that was my worth. And none of the things that I did outside of having a relationship mattered. It's the fact that we still kind of have to fight and give people a remembrance of we shouldn't be trying to still hold women's values down by the fact they're with a guy. The fact that we're still having debates over this, I think, is really inaccurate. There shouldn't be debate over a human's worth. That should be their own personal right and journey to go on to find themselves. But I digress. Then fast forward. By the way, I'm 22, so one of my gymnastics, I'm thinking, is it just because of my age and I haven't experienced anything yet? But then the angsty part of me is like, well, wait, all the stuff I've been through, I think I've experienced it decent enough. But I had abusive bio-father, and then the only, quote, positive images of relationships and all that was TV shows and movies. And some of them do accurate, but for the most part, they push and give you a lot of fantasies and sometimes even show toxic ways of being in love with somebody. So I don't know. And in all this time, I was forced to grow up, so I never really focused on working out myself, but also just it was never in my DNA. I felt like I had to grow up because when you have an abusive parent, at least and siblings, it's about protection. It's about you need to keep your mouth very tight. You need to be able to lie and put a smile on so then they don't see and that you don't get the punishment for it. And I took most of it. My mother and me did. So, and then I would start, and then I didn't know what that was. And then when I started liking people, I would never admit it. I would just romanticize and fantasize if they were ever nice to me, which that doesn't work. That doesn't work. And then I had my first serious partner once I think I was towards the last year. No. Oh, it gets so hazy. My gosh. Because I finished online school. I got bullied a lot. Mainly, I think, just because I was in, and this isn't necessarily anybody's fault, but I was in a way out in more country. I wasn't in a city. I wasn't in a place where it was the norm, like, to do crazy hair and crazy makeup and to be goofy. Like, I wore wigs. Even though I wasn't Muskegon, I would wear wigs. I still kept my edgy style. And I'm also just, if you meet me in person, I can't hide my feelings. So sometimes I'm goofy, sometimes I'm nervous. It really depends on where I'm at in life. So for the longest time, I'm going to do all this validation. I'm trying, I get it figured out, and then my world comes crumbling because then I lose everybody that made me, push me to figure out who I am. I move during high school, which is already a tough time for kids in general. And then I meet my very first boyfriend when I think he was 16. I don't know if I was 17 or 18. I do know that it lasted 2 years steady, and then the last 2, or maybe last 3, was on and off. And at first, that person I loved, and at first it was good and sweet, But I generally know now it's probably because we didn't really show who we are the first year we met. I don't think any couple does. So now I'm in the scenario of, well, I never had the example of what you do when you get to this point in the relationship where you're done with the year mark and you are actually kind of showing who you are, and you go, oh, okay, this is who you are. This is who I thought you are. And it's not toxic. Like, literally, the person I'm with right now is a walking book of green flags. This person has their moments, but I do too. I'm completely imperfect. I have my good traits, I have my complicated traits, I have my stuff I need to work on. But what's eating at me is there's a lot of questioning because, one, I don't know the resources to like figure it out, and I am in love with this person, and I'm learning to fall in love with the actual person they are. But I also know that like part of me just feels that the more I figure myself out, the more I'm scared it's not gonna align with the person I'm in love with, or that I've come to love, at least care about. And I don't know any 20-year-olds that think this way. I'm sure they're out there, but how do you know the difference? Because now I'm at this weird part of my life where I'm happy and content with the process of my life. There are, of course, naturally things I'm trying to go for, I'm trying to push to my goal. And there's days where I feel like I can achieve it and my goals are achievable, and then I'm scared I'm running out of time. I'm scared I won't be able to do the things I want to do for myself and for other people in time. I feel like I'm failing. I feel like because I don't know who I am yet and I don't fit into any algorithms, I don't fit into any box, that I feel like I'm not going to be successful in my ways, in my own terms. And in relationships, even my sexuality, I'm trying to figure, like, there's times I always sit here and go, like, what would happen if I just, which is probably Tello's video, is figure out yourself before you get into serious relationships and you do big commitments like marriage and moving in. Because when you make these big commitments, it's not just about you anymore. It's about the other person involved. And like they're healthy, they're loving, they're kind, they're sweet, they are so accountable, and they write everything in my book. Open the door when we do have fights. They do apologize. It's just these different personality things and how we function. I'm trying to, on top of it, I'm really trying my hardest. I have to get back to find a different therapist, but I'm trying my hardest to still move. I don't know how to explain. Like, I'm trying my best to do the gymnastics to figure out who I am, on top of staying updated with the news, working, still being there for my family and friends, getting involved. And I'm not complaining about this in the slightest. You know why? Because I'm content. Like, I do know one day I could reach my goal, and I want you to know you can too. Like, it's okay to have a clusterfuck of all these feelings in your 20s or 30s, and I would say even some 40s. This is what I want the channel to be about, is being okay to feel, whether you have a simple feeling, complicated feeling, it's okay to feel, and that you find, hopefully eventually, like, when, I wanted to show you guys when I go volunteering, which is coming up. I want to show you guys my sim habits, and because that's part of my personality. I love Sims. It was a good thing I started Sims 3 and then I have Sims 4. I want to show you guys a little bit more of my routine. I want to just keep talking with everybody more, because maybe somebody does feel this way. So the point of a few points on rambling is: one, be careful not to tell mainly young girls that if they don't have a husband, a partner, or they're not married in a relationship, then their actual personal goals don't matter and won't make them fulfilled. Encourage them to fall in love a lot, but remind them that love isn't always going to be the thing that is going to validate you, and there's many forms of love, and love is still like from your mom, it can be from your family. Like, I've been surrounded by civil, kind love. It's not always been romantic, but I have been surrounded by love. And this is going to sound cheesy, but it's so true, especially to now I know in my life. You don't know what somebody's going through on a daily basis. You can't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge in general. I know it can be hard. I think everybody does judge a little bit in their head, but what matters is you make the intention to not say it, especially when it's not your place. And also, just if you don't have anything nice to say, don't always say it. There is always a way to say something nice and civil, and sometimes there can't, and you fuck up and you mess up, but you keep owning it. So it is weird because I have this amazing, healthy partner, but I get this feeling like I want to explore more of myself, whether it's career I want, the channel, like tapping more into my sexuality, and really figuring out what I want. But I know it's so crazy because every time in my life where I get into relationships or even times in my life where I'm like, oh, this is gonna make me happy, this is gonna like what fulfills me, I realize, no, this isn't what, it's not that it's not fulfilling me, but it's not a personal fulfillment. It's something that I'm thinking is gonna fix everything. I've done that with school, I've done that with all my jobs. I am so fucking grateful I've managed to be a good person in all those areas, or at least a decent person. I think she's gonna come show her booty again. Sasa! Why do you not want me to pick you up? Cesar, watch out. Cesar, no, that's a bug. No, Cess, no. Okay, I gotta save my cat from that bug. No. Oh, no. We are not, no. I'm not getting hurt. I'm tossing this thing, yeah, in the trash. Okay. And then the last thing is on days like this where you don't know, what I do is I write down what I'm grateful for. So it's being like grateful for my family, for my friends, for my roof over my head, for still being at work, for running car. It could be anything. And then I normally text my mom or one of my friends, mainly Haley, to talk about how I'm feeling. And then I normally eat my comfort food, and I binge watch or watch some TV, or I write a poem, and then I do my ritual practice for my daily candle magic. And that's okay. That's where my life is right now. I'm so grateful for the highs and lows of my life. I have no clue if they mean anything. I don't know what they're gonna lead to, and I hope I can figure it out. And I'm really fucking happy, even if it's just a camera or one or two people, that I have somebody to talk to. And know this is a comfort place. So please have a good day, be safe, and know you are worthy, whether you have one person or nobody. You will always have somebody because you always have yourself, but you also will find that person. So keep working on yourself. And yeah, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do this. I wasn't expecting Sassy to do that. All right. Bye.